Where do I begin? I just feel like I have no purpose in life. Ever since I was a teenager, I started to feel like, what is my path? What am I gonna do in life? You know what I mean? That's the age that we kind of start to feel like, okay, like this is the time. I'm gonna be 18. I'm gonna live out of state. I'm out of my parents' house. I'm a grown person. We all had that thought. We all were there. I'm at that age was when I really started to feel like I just wanted to be more, wanted to do more. We all have that feeling, but I just couldn't understand what it was. What was my purpose? Wasn't really a job type of person, like, you know, like working for people, and getting a job wasn't the worst thing in the world. Of course, at 18, like, you know, we got to make our own money somehow, right? I knew that I had better things to do than to fold clothes at a store, to restock items and to cash people up. Like, I knew I was way better than that at the age I was at. Not to say that that's such a bad thing, but you know, you grow out of that mindset eventually and you realize that you are way more deserving than that. I turned down jobs that I knew I didn't want to go to interviews for. I didn't want to sit there and feel like I wasn't going to enjoy myself at a job. We shouldn't be miserable at a job. Like, that is not our mindset when we're at a job. Like, we should be going in there with a clear headspace. This is going to be something that I want to do. Not to say I was lazy or, like, you know, I was not disciplined. I was in college for a few years for veterinarian school. I love animals very, very much. I love the thought of taking care of animals. If I was to see an animal on the road, I definitely would pick them up and save them. But to go to school for 8 to 9 years to do surgery and to do stuff like that, like, I just didn't, like, not to say I didn't want to do the work, but I was like, you really start to think to yourself, like, is it really what I want to do? Is this really my career path? Do I want to make that my journey? I decided to give that up. And then I went down the writing path, which I am a creative person internally. I come up with certain things on the spot. I like to use my brain to come up with certain ideas. And I just felt like when I like to write, I'm very expressive with my words because I'm a very expressive person in real life. And I felt like I could have some fun with this. And me taking creative writing courses was cool. English courses was cool. At that point, I was paying out of pocket, and I was like, like, I'm not making enough money to pay out of pocket for school and for books and for classes. Like, this ain't it. So I was like, you know what? Let me just get out of school. I am a dropout. I just realized that I'm a dropout. But it's okay. This was not my path. Something has to give. I always wanted to do a YouTube channel, but I just had so much insecurities in life and thinking that I was just a nobody and nobody would look at me, and I was so not confident in my looks and just everything. I just was so paranoid in life, and I just felt like, who am I a YouTuber? Like, who am I, right? I started to dabble in that for a little bit. Wasn't doing too well because I felt like this is not me. My niche was not the way I wanted it to be. To this day, I believe YouTube is such a great platform to grow on, and I'm still trying to pursue it. YouTube was always in the back of my mind, so I'm never gonna feel like YouTube is a stressor in my head. Like, I want to take my time with YouTube because I know that consistency is key. So YouTube was always in the back of my head, whether or not I was working a job or not. So working another job, I just felt like, I'm not gonna do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to work another job. I don't want to go to another interview and feel like I'm gonna quit in the next few months. Like, I just don't want to waste my time, their time, and like just do that to anybody. So I was like, shoot, let me get a job. I had no money. I had no drive, honestly. I felt like I didn't want to get a job, but I knew that I could go down the entrepreneur route and maybe make a business for myself and maybe do certain things. Yeah, I went through like so much ideas. I went through the t-shirt making business. I went to what is it called? The face mask when we hit COVID making business. I went to the jewelry earring business. Went to doing stickers on Etsy. What else did I do? I went to doing digital like stuff on Etsy as well. I forgot what it was, but I was doing digital wall art. And I never actually gave those things a full on try and effort. I just really was like, I don't see the gratification. I don't see the effort. I don't see people liking my stuff. I don't, you know what I mean? It's like low key, I have validation issues. I have gratification issues. Like, it's okay to admit now, we're older, we can do that. So I just felt like I just was waiting for that confirmation that this is my thing and I'm gonna stick with it and run with it. And when I didn't see it, I quit. And I hate that because, and I don't like to use the word hate, but this is how I feel. I felt like I really hated that because it was something that I did with every single thing that I put an idea in my head about. And I said, okay, well, I know it's possible, but why am I not trying hard enough to make it an actual stable income? And I don't know what I was scared of. I don't know if I don't know. Honestly, I can't even tell you guys because YouTube is something that I've been on for like since 2016. Off and on for years. 2016, you guys, that's ridiculous. We're in 2024. It's been 8 years. That's crazy. Girl, I could have been putting some work. It's the confidence not there. It's the insecurities not there. It's like, why are we doing that to ourselves? Why are we shaming ourselves? Why are we self-sabotaging ourselves? Like, when we know we're so much better than that. So I just felt like every idea I had was just so good in my head, but I'm like, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. Because this is who I am. This is what I do, right? It sucks. It sucks. And I don't like it. I'm changing that. I'm changing that, definitely. Because I'm not even thinking twice about things anymore. As much as I used to, I'm an overthinker, hard. I'm a big overthinker, big time. But I was like, why? What's the point? Why do I do that to myself when I know I'm gonna back out of it if I keep thinking to myself, like, this idea isn't good enough. This is so saturated. And it's like, yo, just do it. Just press that button, press that send, press that publish, press that order to make your purchase. Do what you gotta do. Do what you need to do. Okay? So all this stuff made me feel like I had no drive, like I had no skill. I also felt like, yeah, I had no hobbies. What do I even like to do? I feel like if I wanted to be in an easy like workforce, I would turn to things that would make me easy money. It's deeper for me. I have a story to share, a story to feel like you guys can relate to, and I want people to understand it and see that that is the person that I am. I have so much to offer, and that's why I felt like YouTube was the best platform for me to share. And the fact that I've gate kept so much videos for almost 2 years is insane to me, because I'm like, wow, you guys could have been seeing my journey for the longest time, and I haven't even put anything out there. And it's sad on my end because I could have grown so much. And not to say, I'm not trying to think like, oh, I could have been up here and if I did this 2 years ago. No, but the one regret that a lot of people have is that I should have started earlier. I should have started this way long time ago. But the key is just to start anything in life that you want. My father, my parents, telling me like, what are you gonna do? You'd have no money. How are you gonna do this? You're living under our roof still. And I moved out when I was 24. I got pregnant at 24. I moved into my new home at 24. I was like, there's no way this is happening to me. When I got pregnant and when I moved out, that was a whole thing too, which led into my relationship, my situationship. It's okay to say I'm not okay mentally. This is not right for me. This is not good for me. And it's okay to admit that to yourself, to the person that you're with, to your loved ones. It's okay to admit that. They should understand, and they should give you some time. And they should understand that if you need the time to leave and walk away and to be in your healing era, then they should do that. So I just feel like so much stuff made me feel like I have no drive. Depression came on super quick when I gave birth. I didn't know what to do. I spoke about this in my last video, that I was harming myself, you know. I don't talk about this at all, but you know, I just feel like people do this to themselves and they don't tell anybody, but it's okay. It's okay to say it out loud and to admit that this is what we have been doing to ourselves. I was physically harming myself and I couldn't take it no more. I couldn't take it no more. I was severely depressed. Never in my life did I think that I would go through what I went through and make it out alive 2-3 years later. That I'm still here and I'm stronger than ever. And I just feel like it's such a beautiful thing to witness as a person who was so deeply involved in something. I'm sorry. The way that I was mentally, the way that I was physically, the way that I talked down to myself was so unhealthy. And I just knew that that was killing me inside. I did not want to be on this earth anymore. I literally, but I couldn't do that. I couldn't leave my son behind. I couldn't do that to him. And I just knew that there was so much more to life. But in that moment, you can't think anything but negative. You can't think anything but how, like, this is my life and how impossible things are. And oh my gosh. But yeah, I just didn't know what to do. I just had no direction in life. And I'm trying to make a long story short, I'm so sorry. I had no direction in life, and like fast forward, I moved to Georgia. And I've been here for like 5 months so far. And I love it. I don't regret. I used to live in Florida and I don't regret the move at all. And I tell myself all the time that I'd rather struggle in a place that I would rather be in, and then struggle in a place that I had no motivation and no drive in whatsoever. So back in Florida, I just felt like I didn't know what life was. Like, I was still trying my hardest to do what I had to do, but I didn't know what life was. And moving to Georgia was one of the hardest decisions I had to make. And I'm probably gonna do like story time on that because that was very emotional for me. Yeah, moving to Georgia was one of the hardest decisions I had to make because it was such an impromptu moment, and like it wasn't really thought about like that, but I felt like that was what God called me to do. And moving here just made me realize like how much I love where I live. I love my backyard. I love the grass. I love the trees. I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful that God like brought me to this place. And I also know that God is not done with me, because I honestly feel like God brought me to this position in my life to keep going, because this is not where I really want to be. Where I truly want to be is somewhere that I'm happy. I'm happy, and I find peace, and I find solitude, and I'm not struggling, and I'm financially free. Oh my gosh. So this turned out to be like an emotional fest. I'm so sorry. I am worth so much more, and I'm still figuring it out. But one day at a time is all you can tell yourself, and just doing the work little by little. That's all I'm doing right now. I am trying to focus on my YouTube channel and I am working a job that I don't mind working, but lately I've been feeling like it's too much for me. Like, not the work is super easy, but the feeling I have mentally, I'm starting to feel like I can do better, but I don't want to get another job. So I'm like, I have to stick with what I'm with what I'm with right now. Realistically, I have to sit with what I am in, and I have to be okay with it and save up my money, and I'm going to try to do the entrepreneur route, and I'm going to try and do certain things to make me some money, because honestly, guys, I'm trying to move out. I'm trying to move out with my son. Not to say anybody did anything wrong, but mentally, I think I just checked out a long time ago because of the stuff that I went through personally. I, just didn't know how to cope with it and deal with it, and it was so unhealthy. I need to focus on me. I need to focus on things that I need, and I need to figure out who I am in life, because I feel like I'm only getting older. I feel like I am getting older, and this is the time for me to branch out. And I hate to say that, because you build a life and you build like a child, you have a child with them, so it's like you don't ever want that to be something you want to get rid of. It's such a memory in your head, and it just sucks. It sucks, but I am trying to get there. Oh my gosh, I am the worst. You guys, please, if you're still watching, like, thank you. I'm trying to get my life together one day at a time, and I know that God has so much in for me. I'm sure we can all relate to that, and I would love to hear your story and what you guys are going through, because honestly, we like, I feel like we've all been there in life, all getting to their place one day at a time. Really just have to smile through the pain, smile through the loneliness, smile at the things that you used to smile at before, because it does matter. Get yourself back into that good place in life. Get yourself back into who you are. I will see you guys later. Have a good week. Comment, subscribe. Bye.